Milletim.
My august nation, today is the 6th anniversary of the July 15 coup attempt, one of the most vile attacks on our state and our nation. I wish God's mercy on our 252 martyrs who marched to martyrdom while fighting like lions for the cause and sake of our independence and future against the traitors, the members of the Fetullah terrorist organization. I pray that God would rest the souls of all of them in heaven. In the story of each of our martyrs, there are exemplary messages that can only be grasped and comprehended by faithful and devoted hearts. Hopefully, these messages will do the rounds for generations and will be a guide for our children. I once again convey my condolences to all our nation and the relatives of our martyrs. I would like to express my gratitude to every citizen who participated with their hearts beating for the love of Turkiye in the historical apocalypse taking place on the night of July 15, and to all my brothers and sisters who were honored with veteran status that night.
Okay, let's get some analysis from Enes Bayrakli, who's an associate professor of political science at the Turkish-German University and joins us now from Vienna. Enes, thank you so much indeed for your time. If you don't mind, I'd just like to start by asking you what your recollections are. What are your memories of what was happening on that night 16 years ago, six years ago, excuse me?
I think the first thought, and I think that many of Turkish citizens have felt this way, that we don't deserve this, that Turkey doesn't deserve this, a coup attempt in 2016. I mean, that Turkey's democracy has matured so much in the last couple of decades. So a coup attempt, the military on the street, trying to overthrow the democratically elected government in Turkey, that Turkey doesn't deserve this. And I think people get angry quite about this, and the response of Turkish citizens, I think this was one of the reasons, because we had many coup attempts and coups, military coups in the past in Turkey, especially since 1960s. Every 10 years, we had a military coup or military coup attempt in Turkey, and we paid a huge price in Turkey in terms of people's lives, in terms of economic cost of these military coups, and Turkish people had enough of military coups, and that was the first thought, I think, and I felt this way also.
Once the dust had settled domestically in Turkey, one of the biggest complaints that the government in Ankara had was directed to the outside world and the lack of response as Ankara saw it. What was happening? There was relative silence in Washington and the major European capitals. Why was that?
I think it's no secret. Many people, many governments would be really happy if that coup attempt, has been successful, and unfortunately, I mean, Turkey is under attack from PKK terrorist organization since 1980s, and many of our allies, especially in the West, they do recognize PKK as a terrorist organization. However, they do not take necessary, steps to fight against the PKK terrorist organization. And we see the same attitude with regards to Feto terrorist organization. They do not recognize Feto as a terrorist organization. And of course, many of the Feto members and their so-called NGOs are operating freely in most of those countries. And of course, this is, is a huge problem between Turkey and those states, but especially also Turkish citizens. They don't, agree with this, attitude of our allies, and this is, I think, one of the many issues that we are also having with our allies.
And do you think the impact has also been felt in terms of the feeling that Turkish people have of nationhood, of statehood, of national identity, but also their relationship with their elected leaders?
Yes, I think that for the first time in Turkish history, a coup attempt has been stopped by the Turkish citizens on the street. And before that, most of them were successful. and only those ones that weren't successful were stopped by the military itself. So the first time in Turkish history, Turkish citizens has shown that they are able to stop a military coup, and they will protect the Turkish democracy, and they will defend. I mean, whatever it may cost to their lives. And of course, this is I think one of the turning points in Turkish history, not only in Turkish Republic history, but also in Turkish history. We can say that Turkish citizens took the streets and they defended the democracy in this way.
Enes, really appreciate it. Thank you so much indeed for your time. Enes Bayrakli there speaking to us from Vienna. And of course, we'll have continuing coverage of the events that happen across Turkey.